Ya. Ok, welcome to the last day. Ya voy a salir de ustedes y ustedes de mí. ¿De qué? But
That's true. I'm glad you said that. Because
but
I think I'm gonna keep calling you. You're gonna get here lots of
yes, I know, I know. Y
All right.
Ángela, y Ángela está en todos los grupos de nosotros también, but
All right.
still, y me la encuentro también. Pero, anyways. So, la semana pasada, we spoke about AI, and the use of AI with supplement your writing process, not using it as a tool for you to write, but just to help you in finding your audience and creating an outline for your book and other ethical usage that you could give it, right? So we didn't have time to go over ebook publishing, and that's where we're going to go through because ebook is just a little bit more lengthier, and I wanted to concentrate on the AI, right? So, déjame ver. You're gonna let me move to the next slide or not? Okay. So, ebooks democratize publishing. They let indie authors compete globally with traditional publishers. They're affordable and easy to create, easy to distribute, and can reach readers in places print never will. How many of you have read ebooks? Is it your preferred way of reading? What platform do you use, if
I've
any?
I've used ebooks, but I mostly prefer Audible.
Yeah, your audio book.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm very picky about who reads to me.
Yeah.
And Angela, you read physical?
I read physical and I do audio because I do a lot of driving.
Yeah. And Gaby, what do you read? How do you read? Print, audio, ebooks?
I prefer prints.
Okay. I'm an ebook reader. Mainly because I don't have room for more books in my house. My kid is gonna disown me one of these days. And while I'm here in DR, if you get a chance, please go and look on Dominican Writers for this interview that I did with Karine. Ay, Dios, se olvidó el nombre de ella. Bernal, Karine Bernal. Karine is a Colombian romance fantasy author. And Karine writes in Wattpad. And Wattpad is this platform for writers to share their writing. It could be short chapters, it could be an entire book, it could be the first 2 pages of your book. And your readers will read it and comment and tell you exactly what they think about what you have shared. She became a phenomenon on Wattpad, so much so that she got a contract with Planeta, which is a Spanish publisher located in, well, they're worldwide in Latin America, but she published in Colombia. And part of her contract was for her to still continue to publish on Wattpad. So her stories, before they're published, are shared in Wattpad. It's like she tries out the stories and she sees if people are going to like it or not. And then she will adjust a few things and then she ends up publishing with her publisher, which I thought was incredible. She has a fan base sort of like Taylor Swift. I was shocked. Her fans range from 11 years old to 51. Was the oldest that I found among her readers. And on Saturday, she sold 500 books and she was signing books for 4 hours. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like that for a book. So I was just like, wow, I came home, I went and bought her book, and I certainly came home and downloaded Wattpad because I was like, what is this thing? You know, Wattpad is not that big in the US, but it is in Latin America and El Caribe. So, you know, people who don't have access to books in print, like here, a lot of the students don't have money to purchase an expensive books. book, right? So they have Wattpad to read from. And they read all kinds of things on Wattpad. And there's other digital platforms as well that aids people in reading, like they could read comics and manga. There's Webtoons as well, who does, I believe they do manga, but a lot of their stuff has also been adapted to Netflix, right? So Ebooks has its own audience. I just wanted to share that sometimes people decide to print a book and they never consider putting their book as an ebook as well. And that is something that you should consider always. If you could print your book in hardcover, in paperback, and ebook version, do it, because all three of those have a separate audience.
Do you have an
Okay.
idea how much it like do you know what the profit is on ebooks? Or
It's not that much because
okay.
they don't cost that much.
Gotcha.
There's a price range for ebooks, which I'm going to mention in this
Okay.
workshop.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So ebooks, such as like books sold through Kobo, which is mainly in Canada and Europe, Apple Books, which is part of the iOS ecosystem, Overdrive, Libby, which is part of the library system. They have lower costs, right? So no printing, no warehousing, no shipping, easier to discount and promote. They're instant distribution. So you upload today and within 24 to 48 hours, your book is accessible to the world, right? So what that means is that print grounds you locally. You could place your book in bookstores, place your book in schools. You could do book signings, right? But ebooks expand your audience across borders, time zones, and even languages. So one in three US readers now read ebooks regularly, and in some international markets like India, ebooks are the primary way people access books. Look at that in India. So the basis of ebooks are, there's three formats that you may be familiar with, right? So you have EPUB, which is standard, everywhere, flexible, reflows the text. There's Mobi, which is part of the Kindle ecosystem. So you have phasing out, but it may still appear. And then you have PDF, which is fixed, good for workbooks or design heavy titles. Adobe PDF now has like audio integrated that you could have the PDF be read to you as an accessibility feature that they have added. Because I have a friend of mine and that's what she uses. She uses that accessibility features to read things to her because she likes to read them a little bit faster when she doesn't have too much time to dedicate to a book, right? So then we have tools like Kindle Create, which is quick and beginner friendly. You have Draft to Digital Converter that converts for free the EPUB that you export from a Word document, right? So you upload a Word document and it converts it to an EPUB. And then you have Atticus and Vellum, which gives you a polished professional format worth it if you're publishing in multiple books. So continuing on to that, things that you must have as part of your ebook, definitely a link to your table of contents. It should allow people to resize the fonts to make it easier to read. It should be clean and compressed images. If you notice, many children's picture books aren't available in ebook, and that's because the images, the illustrations need to be reformatted, and then that's an additional expense. So very rarely will you see picture books converted into ebooks, right? So then you have readers may notice sloppy formatting immediately. Yes, we do. And it signals an unprofessional author. But a well-formatted book equals better reviews and more credibility. So then we could talk about metadata, right? Which is discoverability. Metadata is like the text, what makes up your book, how many pages, what's the format of your book, what's the description. It's sort of like, ¿cómo te digo? Like you could look at a human person and be like, oh, ella tiene un lunar, or scar. It's what makes up that person, right? Things that are used to identify that person. So books have similar things, right? So you have the option of Amazon KDP, which gives you the largest reach. Kindle Unlimited gives you exposure, but requires exclusivity, meaning that if you publish your ebook with Amazon, you cannot publish your ebook with anyone else. Then you have Draft to Digital, which gives you broad global distribution, right? Your book will be available on Apple and Kobo, which is in Canada, Barnes and Nobles and libraries. And it's great if you want to reach without exclusivity. Then you have Ingram Spark, where you could print a book and also upload an ebook combo, and it makes it accessible to libraries and bookstores that trust Ingram. And then you have also the option of direct sales, right? There are platforms like Gumroad and Payhip or your own personal website where you could sell this digital product and people can go there and download it, right? And again, as I've explained to you before, when you sell your product directly to the customer, you make more money, right? So you'll get the best royalties, you get to email your readers through these websites, but you will be required to promote and market this product, right? Because it's not going to sell itself, right? There is no best option. It just depends on what your needs are. What are your goals with that ebook, right? So for visibility, Amazon KDP is the best. For credibility, Ingram Sparks is the best. For control and direct sales, is direct sales, your website and whatnot. And then if you want a balance of distribution and direct sales, you also have Draft to Digital. So these are all things for you to consider. It's not just a matter of you uploading a book on a platform, but you also knowing what are your goals with that ebook, right? So you have to think about the keywords, right, that are going to be associated with this ebook. Think like a reader, not a writer. You could use Amazon search to test what people type. Categories are BISAC. Choosing correctly decides where your book is shelved. Example, you have a romance book that's multicultural or Caribbean versus just romance, right? So you will include those three keywords: romance, multicultural, Caribbean, instead of just saying that the book is romance, right? Then you have the description, which is not a summary, but it's a sales copy where you use emotion, stakes, and curiosity. Now, you could use ChatGPT to figure all these things out, right? If you share your manuscript with ChatGPT, you could ask it to identify 6 keywords for your book that you could include in the platform where you're printing in. The categories as well. It will identify the categories for you, and it will also help you polish your description or create a description for you that you can polish and change and edit to your liking, right? So metadata is like SEO for your book. This is how people find it online, because people use keywords on Google and all these other search engines to search for books like yours, right? But it's invisible marketing that decides whether your readers find you or miss you. So think, is your book visible? Do you want your book to be visible to everyone and found by everyone, discoverable? Then these are your options, right? Also, you have price range, Braulio, that you were talking here about that, right? So you have, with accessibility, you have resizable fonts, which are reader friendly, alternate text for images for screen readers, and preview on multiple devices before publishing, right? Pricing for ebooks are usually the sweet spot, $2.99 to $5.99 for fiction. If it's nonfiction, it can go up as high as $7.99 to $14.99. So you have these strategies like perma-free that make one book free to hook readers in a series. And then you can also launch discounts, right? To boost early reviews and rank. And then we have tools that help you convert your PDF or your Word document into an ebook. And those tools are Draft to Digital. They have an easy EPUB export. Then you have the Reedsy book editor that is online, clean EPUB plus a PDF. You have Calibri, which is flexible, but it's a little bit technical, so not that user friendly. And then you have Kindle Create, which is Amazon focused and beginner friendly as well. Ingram, if you upload a book in print on Ingram, Ingram will charge you like $100 to convert your book into an ebook. I usually pay for someone in Fiverr about $55 who does the job for me and sends me the files, and then I upload it to the platform where I need that ebook on. I haven't used any of these platforms here, but you guys are welcome to play around with it. Just because I haven't used it doesn't mean that they don't work. I just prefer to pay a person to do it and get it out the way. So not all tools are equal. Choose based on your comfort, on your budget, and how often you plan to publish. And always preview your file on Kindle and Apple Books before you launch it so that you know what it looks for you. And for you to make sure that it reads well, that it has a stable with content, it has everything that it needs before you go out there and share it with anyone. Okay, so then we have, that was the last page. Then we have promotion and next steps, right? You have Kindle countdowns, Kobo does promotions, BookBuds does ads as well. You could bundle an ebook with a print book, build reviews early, so you could do ARCs, which are advanced readers copies that you could send to people or folks on your mail list. So your ebook is not just a file, it's your digital passport into the global market world. And let me see, I think this is the last of the stop share. I think this is the last of the ebook presentation. Déjame ver. Yes. Any questions about ebooks before we move on to the marketing and promotion part of this workshop? No? Clear?
No, I mean, it's a lot of options. So, but it's good to know that that's available too, because I had no, like, to me, I'm more excited about Wattpad and what's available there and how we.
Did you go on the website now?
I was trying to actually sign in right now, so.
So for example, Braulio, your book, you might want to test it on Wattpad
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
before you print it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And see, solo que no te desespere if you don't have readers right away, because
Oh, I get it. Yeah, I mean,
it
people.
takes a minute for your book to make its rounds and for you
Gotcha.
to
No,
gain
I mean,
readership,
yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
no questions about ebooks. Angela, is your book is an ebook?
Yes.
Okay. Your publisher did that for you.
Yeah. And well, it was part of the package. And I
Yeah.
think only 17 have sold as opposed to 800 of hard copies.
Yeah. Okay. You're good then. Let's move on to the marketing and promotion.
Can you please repeat the name of the platform? Wattpad?
WATTPAD.
Okay. Thank you.
Ahora estoy yo aquí influenciando a la gente. Okay, let's see if this loads.